friends. It's good to see you this morning. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. Welcome into my cluttered home. We have a very limited living space here, and I apologize for all the clutter that's all around. My son has his karate stuff in the corner. We've got piano and musical stuff over in this corner, and this chair has been waiting to be reupholstered for at least 3 years, and I haven't gotten to that project yet. So I apologize that it's not a more aesthetically pleasing space to practice yoga with me, but thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this slow float this morning. Let's sit up nice and tall and just kind of move that flesh out of the way so you can really anchor into those sit bones. Feel free to grab a bolster, a big heavy cushion, maybe sit on that or sit on a block or two. All right, let those knees soften down away from the hips, and as you sit up nice and tall, just take a beautiful inhale through the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. And one more. Great. If you can think of your head just kind of sitting on a gentle spring, let your head kind of bobble around a little bit. All right, and we're going to draw the chin towards the chest, and then walk the gaze up the front wall, lifting the gaze to the ceiling. Let's do that again, drawing the chin towards the chest, and then drawing the gaze to the ceiling. And chin coming down towards the chest, and walking the gaze to the ceiling. Good. Come back to center. Turn the head to the right. And center, turn the head to the left. Center, turn the head to the right. Center, turn the head to the left. Coming back to center, think of your head on that spring again. And it's just a gentle head wobble. Right? And both arms are going to sweep up. Drawing all that goodness into our hearts. Drawing the hands down through heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, pull through. Good. And just let your thumbs rest at your heart now. And lift your crown a little taller, lengthening the spine. As you close your eyes to breathe, maybe just repeat a breath prayer. Breathing in, I am. And exhaling out here. And it can be any breath prayer that works for you. Inhaling. Exhaling out. Again, inhaling, I am. And exhaling here. And just feeling your body settle a little deeper into the floor. Feel your mind relaxing. Giving yourself permission to set aside your concerns, your worries, your to-dos, and just focusing on the breath. Focusing on your practice. And maybe you can feel the pads of your fingers pressing against one another, and you can feel that little pocket of air between your palms. Right? The circumference of the palms press against one another. Maybe just give your toes a little wiggle. Now we're going to exhale through the nose if you haven't already been doing so. And use the same force that you would use with a sigh so that you feel that sensation in the back of your throat. It's a warming sensation. Now trace with your mind's eye that warming sensation from the back of your throat down into your belly. Hopefully you can also hear that breath in your ear. It's like an ocean-like breath. Now with your mind's eye, tracing that warmth from the back of your throat to the belly, hopefully you can start to watch it transfer out, expand towards your limbs, right? Your arms and your legs. That breath working its way towards your fingers and your toes. Good. We're going to bring our arms down by our sides and just loop those shoulders for a moment. Lengthen out our legs. Just give them a little shake. Maybe flex and point those feet. And then round out the ankles. Just open them up a little bit. Good. We're going to roll to the side. Use your hands and arms to support yourself. And come on up into tabletop position. All right, so with your hands directly underneath your shoulder heads and knees underneath your hip points, we're just going to let those hips gently sway from one side to the other. All right. Hopefully you can start to feel those hips and that back open up a little bit. Let's take the toes and tuck them under. Start to knead them into the floor a little bit. All right, so you're sliding the undersides of your toes into the mat. All right, and then we're going to let the belly sink. You're going to push your body away from the floor, lifting those sit bones, lifting our chin. We're going to breathe into that cow pose. Exhaling it out. One more breath. Good. And then round the spine, dropping the chin towards the chest, coming into our cat pose. And again, we want to push ourselves, our body, away from that floor. All right, friends, let's come back to tabletop and just do some warm-up here. All right, so we're going to bring our knees behind our hips, come into that modified plank. All right, take a beautiful breath here, reach through that crown. We're just going to hold here for a moment, take a gorgeous breath. Exhale out. Good, now we're going to gently shift to that weight into that right side, open up that left arm and reach. Good, take a beautiful breath, roll out that left wrist. And other direction. And extend that left arm back down. Come back to that modified plank. Reach through that crown. Take a gorgeous breath. Shift your weight into your left hand. Extend your right, coming into that side plank on your left side as you roll out your right wrist. Good. We're going to melt that right arm down. Come back to modified plank. Reach through that crown. Take a gorgeous breath. Let's lower down, chaturanga. We're going to do a couple push-ups here. So we're going to lower down, press up. Let's do that 2 more times. Lower down, press up. Good. And lower down. And press up. Now if you have shoulder issue like I do, just be gentle with it, right? Listen to it. Let those hips sway back, one side to the other. Good. And come on up onto those knees and just shrug those shoulders again. All right, we're going to interlace those fingers, press the palms forward. And rotate those wrists up, fingertips pointing up, and then rotate those thumbs out. Good. Take a beautiful breath here. Exhale out. Give those hands a nice shake. Let's open the hands really wide, starfish hands, tight fists. Good. And roll the wrists one direction. And roll the wrists the other direction. All right, keeping those toes tucked underneath here if you like. Right, hands down by your sides, loop your shoulders, left hand to the thigh. Right arm's going to frame the left ear. Little hinge to the left. Right arm sweeps across the sky. Give that right shoulder a nice shrug. Good. Right hand to the thigh, left arm reaches up. And framing that left ear, we're going to hinge to the right. Good. Left hand sweeps across the sky. Give that left shoulder a nice shrug. All right, coming back down to the mat. Into tabletop. Let's reach through that crown. Take a gorgeous breath. Right? And lower down chaturanga. Press up. Press through those fingertips and the heels of your, the circumference of your palms. Just dispersing that weight away from your wrists. Right? And one more. Great job. Press that weight into your right hand. Peel open on the left here. Reach back. Good. If you like, extend that left leg. Good. We're going to draw underneath and thread that needle and come all the way back up. Good. Reach all the way down towards the wall behind you and open back up. And again, one more time. Excellent. Left hand coming down to the floor. Let's do the other side. Shifting our weight into our left knee, maybe extending that right leg. Right arm reaching up, leaning back into the posture. Good. Now thread the needle. Right arm reaches underneath. And we open back up. Two more. Let's marry that movement with a breath. Good. Come back to center. Right, reach through that crown. Take a gorgeous breath. Send your hips back for child's pose. So walk your knees in. Drop your hips towards your heels. And bow forward. And maybe repeat that breath prayer. Let's walk the hands to the left. And walk the hands to the right. And coming back to center, let's slide those hands underneath the shoulder heads. Press it head up and walk your hands forward. Tuck those toes, lift those hips, downward facing dog. Right? Now again, if you know your hamstrings are pretty tight, maybe bring your block behind your heels. Right? Keep your heels lifted. Right? Maybe bend those knees, pull your hips back. Release the tension in your neck. Right? Let your head dangle between your hands. And then when we go to lengthen the legs and press the heels towards the floor, you've got a little shelf for your heels to rest on. So you can really shift your weight back into your heels and wiggle out your toes, right? So we're just going to take that beautiful breath here. Well done, and walk our hands back towards our feet. And know that you have a block here to lift that floor to your hands. Right, we're going to shake out that head yes. And we're going to shake out the head no, just releasing that tension in our neck. Good. Now feet are hip width distance apart. Inhale, rise halfway up, reach through that crown. Take a gorgeous breath here. Wiggle out those toes again. Make sure the weight's back in your heels and your hips are behind your heels, right? And you can have those knees nice and soft. Now we're going to take a nice inhale and exhale, press to the heels, lift all the way up. Good. Let's hook our thumbs, gently hinge to the right. Come back to center and hinge to the left. And come back to center, cactus elbows. Open up that heart. Good. Reach those arms forward and just let them swing. Now, if you like, bring those hands to the shoulder heads and loop those elbows. Great job. Inhale, both arms sweep up. Exhale, swan dive down. Reach through that crown. And gently walk our hands forward, downward facing dog. Take a gorgeous breath here. And as you shake out that head, all right, and let's just take a beautiful breath, opening up those palms again. Beautiful inhale. All right, let's shift that weight forward, back to plank, reach through that crown. And we're going to lower down chaturanga, right? We're going to reach through that crown, lift that chin, take a beautiful breath, and let's exhale, lower down. Right? Slide our elbows underneath our shoulder heads, press down into the face of the feet, and lift the chin. Again, you're using your fingers and your palms to push your body away. Good, and let's lower down, bring our hands down by our sides, rest an ear into the floor, and just shake out those hips. Take a beautiful breath here, and exhale it out. Good, now if you have a strap handy, grab that strap, right? Or if you like, just hook your thumbs. What we're going to do is we're going to loop those shoulders back and down, press through the face of our feet, feel those knees lift, and open up the heart. If you like, then lift the feet. Squeeze those glutes. Great job. Release the opposite ear to the mat, right? And shake out those hips again. Just release the tension in your lower back. Then we're going to send it back for child's pose. So we're going to slide our hands underneath our shoulder heads and press it back, right? Drawing our hips back towards our heels and bowing forward. Let's gently walk the hands to the left. And gently walk the hands to the right. Great, and walk your hands back to center, slide them out underneath the shoulder heads, walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Good, let's shift our weight into our left foot, sweep our right leg tall. Just take a beautiful breath here. Good, lift that gaze, step your right foot through, right? Pivot your left heel down, lift warrior one, and open up the hips, warrior two. Beautiful breath. Right elbow to right knee, side angle. Feel free to have that block handy here. Back to warrior two and peaceful warrior. Let's lengthen that front right leg, coming into reverse triangle. Good, and then hinging forward, pulling this left hip crease back, lowering down to triangle, right? Left hand reaching open. Let's lift that gaze, open up that heart. Good, bend that right knee. Warrior two. Good, warrior one. And let's lower down. Slide that left heel forward and sweep your right leg back. Three-legged dog. Good, and melt that right foot down. Downward facing dog, shake out that head. Shift the weight forward, plank. Reach through that crown, take a gorgeous breath. Let's lower down chaturanga. Set our elbows underneath our shoulder heads. Lift Sphinx. Good. And release. Drop an ear to the mat. Shake out those hips. Big sigh out. And just let your body melt into the floor. Good. Another beautiful breath here. Grab your strap or hook your thumbs. Loop those shoulders back and down. Right? Press your fingertips towards your heels. Press the face of your feet into the floor. Good. Lift that heart. Press the palms to the ceiling. If you like, lift the heels. Good. Release. Opposite ear of the mat. Shake out those hips. Again, just let your body sink into the floor. Relaxing the tension. Hands slide underneath shoulder heads. Press it back, child's pose. And we're breathing. Maybe repeating that breath prayer. Good. Slide those hands underneath the shoulder heads. Press it up. Walk your hands forward. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. All right. Shake out that head. Shift your weight to your right foot. Lift that left leg. Three-legged dog here. Beautiful breath. Good. Then step that left foot through. Right? And pivot your right heel down. Lift warrior one. Let's open up warrior two. Feel your shoulder blades hug the spine as your fingertips reach away. Left elbow to left knee, framing your right ear with your right arm, or lowering down, side angle. Beautiful breath. Keep leaning back into the posture, lifting that gaze. Keeping that left knee bent, warrior two. Right hand to the right thigh, reversed warrior or peaceful warrior. Let's lengthen that left leg. Setting up for triangle. We're going to hinge forward, pull that right hip crease back, reach through that left palm. Left hand slides down that left leg where it feels good. And reach that right arm up. Great. Bending that left knee again. Warrior two. Sliding that right arm forward, warrior one. And lowering down, pivoting right heel forward, sweeping left leg back, three-legged dog. Good. Melt that left foot next to your right. Downward facing dog. Shift your weight forward, plank. All right, reach through that crown. Lift that gaze. Beautiful breath. Let's lower down chaturanga. Slide those elbows underneath the shoulder heads. Lift through that heart. And release. Drop an ear to the mat. Shake out your hips. Right? Grab your strap, hook your thumbs, loop the shoulders, press your palms up to the ceiling. If you like, lift your heels. And if you want, bend the knees, maybe grab the ankles and squeeze those knees together. Good, release. Drop that ear, opposite ear of the mat. Shake out those hips. Slide our hands back underneath our shoulder heads. Squeeze those elbows together. And send your hips back to your heels for child's pose. Let's walk our hands to the left and bow. And walk the hands to the right and bow. And walk the hands back to center. Slide those hands underneath shoulder heads. We're going to move through that sequence again, but we're going to just add a couple of elements to it, okay? So hands underneath shoulder heads, tuck our toes, lift our hips, downward facing dog, and shake out that head. Good. Let's shift our weight into our left foot. Sweep that right leg tall. Beautiful breath. Maybe bend that right knee. Open up the hips. Extend that right heel. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Lift that gaze, step your right foot through. Pivot your back left heel, lift to warrior one. Good. Open up the hips, warrior two. Peaceful warrior, left hand to the back, left thigh. Sweeping that right hand across the sky. And side angle, right elbow to the right knee. Left arm framing the left ear. Or lowering down to a block or the floor. Good. Warrior two. And lengthening that right leg. Tipping forward. Triangle. Left hand melts. All right, you're going to gently pull back that right hip crease a little bit. You may need to slide that right leg in a little, right? And as we tip our hips forward, we're pulling our right hip crease back, and your left hip crease moves forward. Right hand's going to come around to the outside of your right foot. You're going to press down through that great right toe and reverse that triangle. Right, so reversing that twist, drawing that right hip crease back, pulling the right hip crease back, revolve that twist. Good, right hand melts, bending that right knee, pinwheeling up warrior two. Beautiful breath. Sweeping left hand forward, warrior one. Good, hands melting forward, pivoting left toe forward, right? And melting that left knee, right? Just taking a beautiful breath, low lunge. Left elbow bends, right hand grabs the left elbow, gentle hinge to the right. Lift that gaze. Good, release. Slide that right leg back if you'd like. Return to three-legged dog. Right, or you can stay in that tabletop. Right foot next to left. Beautiful breath. Let's do the other side. Shift into your right foot, sweep that left leg up. Bend that left knee. Open up those hips. Beautiful breath. Extend that left heel up. Lift the gaze, walk your left foot through. Pivot right heel down. Warrior one. Right, we're going to open up warrior two. Peaceful warrior, right hand comes to the back right leg, left hand sweeps across the sky. Back to warrior two. Lengthening that front left leg, let's set up for a triangle. Kicking your right hip back, left hand hip reaching forward, bringing it down, opening up. Right, we keep breathing. That right hand's going to come on down to the floor. Right, you may need to slide that left leg back a little bit. Close that stance. Draw this left hip crease back, right? So the left hip crease shifts back as your right hip crease shifts forward. We want to try to square our hips and press through that great left toe. Whew, beautiful breath. Right hand anchors into the floor of the block. Left hand opens up, revolving our twist. And we keep breathing. Good, left hand melts. Back step forward, fold over that left leg. Bend your right knee. Pinwheel those arms up, warrior two. Beautiful breath. And pinwheeling those arms back down. Pivot your right foot forward, melt that right knee. Right, nice little lunge. Let those hips sink. Right elbow bends, the left hand grabs right elbow. We gently hinge to the right and lift that gaze. We want this right knee to be stacked right on top of that right ankle. Good, let's release, slide those hands down, right? Now, feel free just to slide that left leg through. Give it a good shake, maybe a lift. Or if you like, tuck that back right toe. Sweep that leg back. Good job. And melt that left foot down. We're going to move through our vinyasa flow. Right, downward facing dog. Shifting our hips forward, our shoulders forward over plank. And lowering down. Sliding your elbows underneath shoulder heads. Sphinx, or if you're ready, cobra. And release ear to the mat, arms down by your side, shake out those hips. Grab your strap, hook those thumbs, loop the shoulders, press your palms to the ceiling, press through the face of the feet, squeeze those glutes. If you like, lift those legs. Beautiful breath. And if you want, bend those knees. Hands maybe grab the ankles or the shins, squeezing those knees together. Maybe lifting a little higher. Hopefully feel that stretch across your heart center. And let's release. Drop an ear to the mat. And shake out those hips. Big sigh out. Feel your body surrender to the floor. Let's slide those hands underneath shoulder heads. And press it back, child's pose. And walk the hands to the left. And walk the hands to the right. Good. And come back to center. Slide those hands underneath shoulder heads. Right? I want to do some little deeper stretches with those legs and those shoulders and arms. So we're going to come on down to the floor. Have handy some blocks, right? You may want to use the blocks, or you may want to use your big couch cushion, or if you have a bolster, right? I'd show you like one of those big couch pillows, but my dog's sleeping on it right now. So that's another alternative to have handy. All right, so we're going to have that available, and we're going to come on down to the floor. So just take your time, draw those knees in, maybe gently rock side to side. Take a beautiful breath. Let those shoulders relax, right? Nice gentle turn of the head, right to left to right, maybe sweeping with those knees side to side. And then we're going to extend those heels up to the ceiling and just flex and point. Beautiful breath. We're going to have our strap handy again, right? And we're going to place the strap around the arch of our right foot. All right, and the left leg is going to come on down and anchor into the floor. So the left leg stays nice and engaged. The toes are pointing up to the ceiling, right? You feel your left hip secured to the floor, right? Same with your left shoulder. We're just going to start by pointing and flexing that right foot. And then we're going to flex that right foot, pull that right pinky toe back towards our ear, and just draw your right leg across midline. Right? And you should feel a nice stretch moving down the outside of that right leg. Now, if you're not feeling that stretch yet, maybe come back to center, lengthen the leg a little bit. See if you can extend that heel just a little bit more to take out any bend in the knee. And then keeping that leg as long as possible, draw that heel up and then come across midline. And you may feel a slight pull there, I hope. Right, we're just going to breathe into it, pulling that right pinky toe back. Good, another breath. Let's release. Right, we're going to bend this right knee. Feel free to have that right hand grab that right ankle or shin, right, the outside edge of your foot, or the strap into that right hand. We're going to come into half of a happy baby. So that right heel stacks right on top of your right knee. Good, a beautiful breath here. Hopefully you can feel your body starting to cool a little bit. Now the muscles are still warm, that's why we want to kind of get a little deeper into these stretches. All right, so we're going to extend that right leg again, maybe grab the strap, right? And we're going to rebend that right knee back into half a happy baby. And then if you'd like, as you grab that strap, we're going to open up that right leg towards that right wall. And we're just going to hold here. Now, if you know that you're working really hard to hold this position and you're really not feeling the stretch expand in that right leg, grab a block or grab this bolster, place it on that right side underneath where that right leg would lower down, so you have something for it to rest on. So your body doesn't have to hold the pose, but you can reap the benefit of getting the stretch that you want. All right, so we're just breathing into it, letting the body relax. Maybe that left arm opens. Maybe we tick-tock that left arm a little closer towards our left ear. Right, another gorgeous breath here. We're going to soften that right knee and extend the heel right back up to the ceiling, right? Feel free to have that strap handy, right? Bring the strap back into the hands, maybe switch that bolster to the other side because we're going to come across the body this time. So with the strap around the arch of that right foot, you're going to switch the strap into that left hand. The left hand's going to grab as close to that right foot as you can manage, keeping the leg long. All right, right arm opens up, anchors into the floor. And we draw that right leg right across the body, right? So across midline, towards that left wall. And again, you've got that bolster here or that block. to lift that floor to your right leg so that you can reap the benefits of the stretch without having to hold the posture. All right, so we're just breathing into that. Beautiful breath. Right, we're letting this right shoulder, it's going to pop right off the floor as soon as that right leg comes across midline. We're going to open up that right arm towards the right wall. You're going to notice how high this right shoulder head is. It is probably at least a couple inches. Lift that right elbow and the right palm to the same height as that right shoulder. If that bothers your shoulder, right, relax that stretch by drawing that hand towards your body, bending at the elbow, and maybe lowering that elbow closer towards your body, right? You know your body better than anyone, so listen to it, right? Don't push through something that hurts. Now, if you can sweep that right elbow towards 12 o'clock, towards that right ear, and just find where you find that stretch and pause there. And then once you've been there for a little bit, you may want to explore reopening that elbow, letting the elbow rest. All right, but if you want that active stretch in that right shoulder, lift the elbow and the palm to the same height as that shoulder head. Reach through the fingertips. You're going to feel that shoulder blade hug back into the spine, and then maybe start to tick-tock that right arm. And you should feel a nice deep stretch moving up that right arm. Good, one more breath. We're going to slowly tick-tock that right arm back down by our side, anchor into that elbow, and release that twist, coming back to a half of a happy baby. So that right hand is here. You can just maybe grab that knee, bring the knee outside your right shoulder, right? Or if you like, bring the elbow inside the knee, grab your shin, your ankle, your foot, and restack the heel back on top of the knee into half of a happy baby, right? Another beautiful breath here. Big sigh out. Now we're going to release that right leg. Lengthen it down, give it a good shake, and hopefully that right leg feels a little longer than your left. All right, so it's a little windshield wiper shakeout. And then we're going to do the other side. So you're going to grab your strap, place it around the arch of that left foot, and extend that left heel, right? Hands are just gentle weights hanging off that strap. We flex and point, round the ankle, wiggle out those toes. Good. Now again, you want a nice long leg. So maybe lower the leg down a little bit, press through the heel, get nice and long, pull that left pinky toe back towards your ear, and then extend the heel closer towards the ceiling, keeping that leg long. When you've reached your limit, now come across midline, right? Maybe switch the strap into that right hand, and hopefully you feel that stretch moving down the outside edge of that left leg. Now you may need to press that left hip down into the floor, right? It's kind of an engagement of that left hip, pressing down and forward while you're pulling this left pinky toe back. Right? It's a gorgeous breath here. We keep breathing. We're going to release into a half of a happy baby so that right leg is nice and engaged and turned on. Right? You feel your right heel, right hip, right shoulder anchored into the floor. We're going to release that left leg. Right? Maybe your left hand grabs the left knee, right? Drawing that knee in, or the ankle, or the shin, right? Or the strap. We're going to stack that heel right on top of the knee, coming into half of a happy baby. Right? You can also grab the outside edge of your foot or the great toe. Let's just take a beautiful breath here and breathe. Right? It's a nice loose neck. You can turn your head from one side to the other. Good. One more breath. Right? And then we're going to extend that left heel towards the left wall. So you may have the hand ready with the strap. Have your bolster ready to lift the floor to your left leg. Right? We're going to extend that left heel. Right? That bolster is there. That block is there to lift the floor to that left leg. To hold the posture so we can feel that stretch in that inner left thigh. Maybe extend that left arm. Maybe that right hand rest on that right hip just to anchor that right hip into the floor. And as you activate that right hip, pressing down into the floor, you're going to feel a deeper stretch in that right hip. Or excuse me, as you press your right hip down into the floor, you're going to feel a deeper stretch in that left hip, left inner thigh. Right? It's like someone's pulling your right heel towards that front wall and pressing down into the floor at the same time. Good. One more breath. Right? It's a big sigh out. And we're going to release that left leg, bending the knee, right? And returning to a half a happy baby. Maybe bringing that bolster, that block over to the right, having that handy. Right? We're going to take a beautiful breath here. Extend that left heel up to the ceiling. Switch the strap into that right hand. Pull that left pinky toe back towards your left ear. Right? And we're going to come across midline all the way over to the other side. Right? So this is where you're going to feel that left shoulder pop off the ground. You're going to play with it a little bit. Maybe you move from the elbow and just experiment for a little bit, exploring how that shoulder is feeling. Like I know I have an issue with my left shoulder, left tricep, so I'm always a little bit more careful on this side, right? And maybe yours is on your right. I don't know, right? And if you like, extend that left arm, lift that palm and elbow to the same height as the shoulder head if it feels good, right? We're reaching. We're taking a beautiful breath. That left pinky toe is pulling back towards the left ear. You have that block underneath our left leg to support the posture so that you can really feel that stretch. And maybe you want to tick-tock that left arm a little closer towards your left ear. Right? We keep breathing. Keep listening for the nuances in the body. Right, we're going to slowly tick-tock that left arm back down. Rebend that left knee. Right, return to half of a happy baby. Take a beautiful breath here. Maybe you feel that left knee a little, it feels like it's melting a little closer towards that floor. Right, we're going to release that left leg and give it a good windshield wiper shake. And hopefully now that left leg feels a little longer. It matches that right leg a little better. Right, we're going to come into a full body stretch. So arms reach overhead. Right, feel that lift in that lower lumbar as we flare that rib cage. Feel the shoulder blades pull back into their pockets, right? So keep pressing those shoulder blades back and down as the fingertips reach away. And then flex the heels. Take a beautiful breath. Good. Now we're going to release those shoulders. Press the lower back into the floor. Hollow out that pelvis. Good, and then draw one knee at a time into the heart center, lifting that heart, dropping your chin to your chest, and looping the shoulders back and down. Maybe a gentle rock here. Right, we want to keep breathing, keep feeling that rock. Great job. Right, we're going to lower down, take a gorgeous breath, feel those shoulders relax, maybe roll out those ankles. Right, wiggle out your toes, draw the knees to the outside of the shoulders for a moment. Right, you're really feeling that lower back press into the floor. Good, let's release those feet to the mat. And we want to straddle our edges of our feet onto the mat. And place our body center of our mat, right? Now, we're just going to drop our knees to the left, right? And you may need to bend your knees a little tighter, depending on how our outsides of our knees here. I'm not sure where the video cut off last time, but what I was doing here is stretching the outsides of the knees. So you can place that opposite foot. So if you draw your knees to the left and you place your left foot on top of your right knee, it's a nice way to get a little extra stretch here. We're going to do the other side, so we're going to come back to center. If you've already done the other side, I apologize. We're going to drop the knees to the left, right? Maybe take that right foot, stick it on top of that left knee, right? And as you just breathe here, breathing into that left side body, letting it open up. If you need a little bit deeper stretch, feel free to cross those legs and kind of slide that right leg up your left leg so the knees stack on top of one another. I have a tight knee on this left side. I have an ACL repair, and I just want to be gentle with it. I do need to stretch it out, and these stretches with the knees have been so helpful for me. I have some piriformis issues and pelvic floor pain, and this has been a stretch that has been very helpful for me. We're going to come back to center, so we're going to lift those knees back up. Right, and then just draw the knees back into heart center. As you draw those knees into heart, just gently kind of rock side to side. There is a little bit of a back bend in those knee openers. So we're just going to draw those knees in again. Lift up through that heart center, drop your chin to your chest. Right, feel free to draw those knees a little closer in towards your ears. Right, let the shoulders relax. Good, another beautiful breath here. And a big sigh out. Excellent. And let's bring those feet down and come and get ready for our Shavasana. Having these bolsters or a couch cushion can be very, very helpful. So I'm going to just come into one of my favorite heart openers, right? If you have a bolster like this or a big pillow that you can lay across perpendicular to your mat, and just have a support kind of at your mid-back. And then based on how much you want to open your heart center, you can grab that thinner block or a thicker block, right? Or maybe your box of tissues. And we're just going to allow ourselves to kind of drape over that bolster to open up that heart center. And you can place that block underneath your head here to help support lift the floor to your head. So this is just a great way to open up that heart center, especially if you've been working maybe at the computer at home. I know with my husband and myself and my kids, working from home, not having kind of the proper equipment at a desk, we can have a tendency to really hunch and rotate those shoulders in, right? So we want to just loop those shoulders back and down and just give ourselves the opportunity here to open up. Thank you, sweetie. As we open up through here, you can let those those knees open, pressing the pads of the feet together, coming into a butterfly posture. If this is too much strain on those knees, feel free to stick a pillow or two under each knee or even a block, right? And just lift the floor to that knee. And that kind of gives you some added support so that the position can really help you stretch open. Right, and so as we're continuing to breathe here, finding our spot for Shavasana, let's take a beautiful inhale through the nose and a big exhale through the mouth. And just let your body surrender, right? Just relaxing, feeling the body sink deeper into the floor. If you have a kind, sweet, and loving pet, they can come over here and kind of give you a little pet therapy. And as we continue to breathe, we're going to let that belly fully inflate. And exhale, letting that heart center soften and relax. And let's do that again. Just relaxing the jaw and letting the tongue fall to the roof of the mouth. So your lips are parted. And that space between your eyebrows is softened. Now as we continue to breathe, maybe you want to return to your breath prayer, breathing in, I am, and exhaling out here. Right, right? And then we begin to gently shift from grounding ourselves, placing ourselves in the present moment, letting go of our future worries and concerns. And we start to shift from that space to breathing in God's presence, our Creator. Right? And just that word Creator brings to mind for me so much color, so much abundance, right? So many resources. And maybe you just bring to mind a favorite place of yours that's still, that brings you comfort and peace. And you just enter into that realm through your mind's eye. We continue to breathe, and you may want to pause the video here and just give yourselves an opportunity to really sink and rest into this posture. I recommend a minimum of 20 to 30 breaths, right? And that's a beautiful inhale, pausing at the top of the breath. And then slowly exhaling out, maybe to the count of 5. Pushing all the air out of your body. And then pausing at the base of the breath. Maybe lifting that pelvic floor, right? Really engaging that core, pushing all that air out of your body. And then once again, softening and inhaling, letting the belly fully inflate again. And that would be considered one breath, right? And do that 25 to 30 times, minimum. Maybe here for 15 minutes would be great. Right? And just let that heart center open, let your rib cage continue to flare. Position for a while now. You're just going to gently draw those knees back together, right? And to heel those feet out. And then you're going to roll to the side. You're going to use your hands and arms to support yourself. Remove that bolster or that pillow up from underneath you. And then come back onto the floor. Right? And just give yourself a moment here to rest, perhaps. Right? And just to give yourself maybe a moment to wiggle out your fingers and your toes, round out the wrists. Right? And then when you're ready, again, roll to your side and come on up into simple seated posture. And give yourself a moment to get reacquainted with sitting up tall and anchoring through those sits bones. Feel free again to sit on that bolster, sit on a block, right? That helps lift those hips so your knees can soften down and it can be a little bit more comfortable here. As we anchor through those sits bones and sit up nice and tall, again, we're just going to return to the breath and exhale out. Right? And give yourself an opportunity to breathe a few times, maybe setting your intention for the day. How would you like to approach the sunshine, right? How would you like to approach your upcoming weekend? It may not be filled with activities to do with other people, but it may be filled with some really wonderful downtime with your family. Right? Where you have this opportunity to invest a little bit more into yourself, your spirituality, your practice. Right? Our life is a practice. It's a daily effort to move through, especially when there's so many things that were unexpected. We didn't expect to have to move through these self-quarantines and social distancing. And so you have to give yourself an opportunity to grieve and to shift into a different year. And some of us move faster than others into that space. Some of us have to figure out what tools that we can have at our disposal to make life a little easier. Sometimes it's just taking time to maybe do some of the guided tours at the zoos or the aquariums that they're offering. watching the penguins and watching wildlife, to me, can always be very uplifting. As we anchor down through those sit bones and just close the eyes, I'm going to read today's devotion from Jesus Soulways. My beloved, as you come to know me more intimately, you grow increasingly aware of your faults. This presents you with a choice. You can focus on your flaws and your failures, or you can rejoice in my glorious gift of salvation, of freedom. You can let those bonds go. When you keep your focus on my sacrifice for your sins, you live in the joyful awareness that you are wonderfully loved, named and called beloved. There is no greater love than mine, and it is yours forever. The best response for such fathomless gifts is to love me with all your heart. And when you love our Creator with all your heart, you love those He created too. Unfortunately and tragically, many people think that they have little or even nothing for me to forgive. They have been deceived by the prevailing lie that there is no absolute truth, capital T truths. They believe good and evil are relative terms, so that they see that there's no need for a Savior. These deluded ones do not seek my forgiveness, and their sins, their pain, remain unpardoned. The evil one's deceptions have darkened their minds. But friends, I am the light of the world, and my light can shine through even into their lives too. Because when you are my follower, you never walk in darkness alone. You have the light of life. There's a lot to unpack in that reading. And there might be stuff that just kind of rubs you the wrong way. And that's okay. Right? So just breathe in whatever it was that maybe caught your attention or drew in your focus, that maybe rubbed you the wrong way. And there's no need to analyze. There's no need to try to figure out. It just is. So we breathe into it and we allow space to open for it. Let's take a beautiful inhale. Sweep those arms overhead. Lift the gaze past the fingertips. Perhaps offer up your gratitudes for this day. Open your arms wide and let that just be a reminder that you are wanted, that you are loved, and you are cherished for who you are in this moment. Right? Even with our faults, even with our sins, when we are acknowledged, we can be loved and we can love others. Let's sweep those hands forward, palms open. And with your hands cupped, just gently receive. Drawing the palms together, hands to heart center. Friends, I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me honors and bows to the light in you. May your day be filled with peace and joy. Namaste.